Covidians by Lenny Taylor. Whether it's wax figurine and repulsive cretin Joe Biden trying to squeeze out a few crocodile tears, Boris Johnson declaring himself infected with a mystery virus, or Emmanuel Macron touring the debris-filled streets of Beirut recently, lecturing the cameras on how to serve the people correctly, or Donald Trump sounding like a retarded pharmaceutical salesman, watching these creatures in action makes my skin crawl. I can't quite understand how anybody, including the dumbed down and degenerate masses, could fall for them, if that's the case. The con is so obvious for anybody to see. The truth of the matter is that they, the masses, refuse to see the truth. So heavily invested they are. The politicians, civil servants, academia, the military, all the henchmen of the god-awful system I find repulsive, and should be to anybody with 2 brain cells. Their tick-tock dance routines, vacuous utterings, sloganeering, and mindless obedience to a machine, all signs of a world descending into madness. Oh, the denial and apathy, the excuses of those who can see but don't want to. Yes, the masses have the alleged leaders they deserve. How they kowtow to their non-existent freedoms and adore or hate their politicians, depending on what side they have chose. Pepsi or Coke, the shiny turd or the less shiny turd. Binary madness. That's if people's votes are even counted in putting these politicians in. I have my doubts. I don't hate the politicians, Jews, Masons, or the masses. I just find them disgusting. They really aren't worth hating, and they are undeserving of reverence and respect. They are the faces of a system that is sickly and dying, and I will relish the moment, if I am lucky enough to see it, when it all goes up in flames. The obese, degenerate, and sickly masses with their COVID consciousness, maggots as a friend of mine likes to call them, mindless robots with the nature of a maggot, perhaps, jumpy when another human being comes closer than 2 meters, sanitizing their hands whenever the opportunity arises, and incapable of love or genuine empathy that is not wrapped up in their heavy yet glitchy egos. Nothing but bundles of nerves and flesh, waiting to be mercy killed. At least robots could serve a purpose these things do not. I can only assume that we are in a death spiral of a decadent and sickly civilization that has managed to spread the world over like a tumor. I admire the jungle tribes of Africa, Borneo, the barefooted Bedouins of the deserts of Arabia, and other similar communities with their strange and often dark gods, queer yet oh so fascinating customs and rituals. Their vigor for life and acceptance of the temporality of it all, living in accordance with nature, something these sick freaks of civilization are afraid of. Nature, let alone living in accordance with it. So afraid of death, but so close and wanting of it. So, is it any wonder we have cretins that want the annihilation of everything wholesome at the helm? The masses demanded it. Like the lockdown and the COVID measures, they demand it. Even if they have been mind-controlled into the stance, it doesn't change a thing. Things weren't so good before the civilians became Covidians. As the end draws ever closer, the end of what? Well, only time will tell.